Portsmouth have been on a very wild ride, as last year they were sitting in League One of England with John Mousinho, not to be confused with Jose Mourinho. They went and grabbed a deserved promotion to the Championship, but now sitting rock bottom, something needs to change, as I'm coming in to save Pompey. Sorry, John, my friend, you are not getting in the way of me trying to save this Pompey side at the moment. Gotta keep them in the Championship, as of course we've got to look at our ratings. With Regan Poole the best, and also Captain Pack. Then there is Colby Bishop, who doesn't have an ACL injury, but in real life, I believe, had some complications in a medical. That's what it says online, so I've replicated it in game, but of course my best wishes passed on to Bishop with his problem. Wish him a speedy recovery, as we've got our challenges here with Portsmouth, as we firstly got to bring through a youth player. Not done that much in saves, as I've seen we sneak in more free agents now in previous saves on the channel, so we're not allowed any here. Then we've got to win the UCL. That's the overall aim with Portsmouth. And we do have a locked challenge, which is a very interesting one. Can't wait for you to see that, as we've got to check our budget, and only £3 million? Are you having a laugh? £3 million, and we've got to use the Youth Academy, as the scout we've been gifted even isn't 5 stars. Starting on hard mode, no money, no scouts, no fixed striker, as I'm gonna look in England for a new one. As at the moment, we've got these guys. We've got Elias Sorensen, Kusini Yengi, and also Christian Saidi. He's only 22, as one good thing about this squad. We've got some youth here, which isn't far off first team level. Maybe just loan a few players out, as I'm gonna try tiki taka and stay with the formation and most of the players that were already there. Yeah, most of them players you're looking at were already in the first team. I think we have changed a left back, and we've changed our defensive approach just to keep goals out. As speaking of keeping goals out, I think our first signing is going to be a younger keeper. And this may be a surprise, but I'm checking the rest of the world to scout. And Kirill Fasuin looks brilliant for our project, but also quite expensive, so we've got to make some room for him. Selling Will Norris to go all out on this shot stopper. Very expensive, costing over 3 million, and that's just going to make it a squeeze to get youth players, which we have a little money for, but the only problem is the ones we gotta promote really don't look good enough. In fact, our best player in this academy was so bad, we couldn't get him a loan deal, although he's 6'7". Massive for a goalkeeper, and of course he wasn't playing for us, with Fesawin our best player, now 74 at 22. Still the rest of the team, though, you can see it doesn't look good. Yes, the rating's slightly going up, but I see a lot of unhappy faces. As before I check if we survived, which honestly I'm not feeling hopeful for, the top scorer was a winger or midfielder in Paddy Lane. That's obviously not good enough, and that is not good enough. Rock bottom of the Championship, meaning League One. We haven't failed the rebuild, but now we've got to go back a step. As any cup success, I mean, we did get to the 4th round. That of the FA Cup as the first round of the Carabao. Losing to Lincoln, a team I despise, or just have a rivalry to, as that's not been a good season, but still we've got to keep hope, because I saw some of the age of our players. Lots of young players, and some even got loaned out. As if you do want them to increase, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We aim for 1k likes and 50,000 subscribers, as the budget's gone up. 8 million in League One. That is a lot better, and you know the first thing we're doing. Sending my scout out again to England, obviously, but then a second one to Ireland, and this man's a lot higher rated. The scout, that being, because we've got a lot of Irish talent, such as this lad Connor. I know he's knocking on a little bit, as we've also got Anthony Scully back from a loan deal in League 2. We've also got Paddy Lane, our top scorer, who is Northern Irish. As speaking of Northern Ireland, I think that's where we go for a signing. Should be getting promoted again, and our weakest positions are our wingers. As Ross McCausland, could he repair our issue? Because Richie's 35, Murphy's turning 29, and this man's 22, as we've got a little bit of swapping to do. But before we've done that, we've got to reevaluate our spending, because this man wasn't cheap, taking a very high wage at Portsmouth. A lot of high-paid players, as also this season we have a striker back, Colby Bishop. It's good to see him fit again. Hopefully gets fit in real life. As you can see, Paddy Lane's gone to the left, McCausland on the right. Has only 1 million left, so I'm going to sell some players as the next signing. Come on. It's got to be a goal scorer. Legit, we've got to focus on it, as here's our transfer listed players, including 2 strikers, as I can't remember rejecting that offer. Won't make that mistake again, as out goes Yengi, and also Sorensen, so money into the bank, as already with Saidi and Bishop, we've got 6 million. With the amount of money we have, we don't feel like Portsmouth, more like Birmingham, who spent 10 million at this level, or more than 10 million, as we're going to be a bit reasonable. Spend 3/4 of our budget on this man Lucas Stassin, who, let's not lie, should definitely get us out of this level, as the rest of the money is going towards the youth. Because let's not forget, we need to have a youth player in our UCL final team, but the academy's still not working. I mean, at least we've got one youth player who semi-played in this team, Aidan Smith, who's only 16, 64 rated. And we do have this guy Swanson, who must be fuming he didn't get played, as all our team didn't get played. In fact, our striker Strassin, the record amount of money we spent, he doesn't actually get played, as when you look onto the bench, we've got Bishop, who's higher rated. Genuinely unbelievable, as he's not even the highest of all. Look at some of these. We've got a 79 rated, and only 13 clean sheets for Fasuin is criminal, as 32 goals, that's more like it for Colby Bishop. Saidi got 6, but where the hell is Stassin? 3 appearances and only 1 assist in them, for almost £4 million in the 3rd tier of England, as we finish bottom of the playoffs, 6th in League One. With the team you just saw, I mean, I should be sacked in real life. As another League One club, Huddersfield, reached the FA Cup final. Wish that could have been us, as a League Two team beat us in the FA Cup, as, I mean, losing to Luton's not bad. Don't want that all saved though, as Reading beat us in the BSM, and that's actually won by Stevenage. Stevenage versus Bromley. No offense if you support those, but they shouldn't be the finalists, as we aren't the finalists for the playoffs, beaten by Rooney. I feel genuine embarrassment. Our most expensive players flopped, and we've got to change something up, and I am definitely thinking formation-wise. Going to a flat 4-4-2, just play our way out of this mess with a high aggressive approach, because we have the players here to fly out of this league. So now Stassin and Bishop up front together. Midfielders now in position, and of course not CDMs. Both a bit more attacking, as 6 million is perfect, and perfect for one reason, because we can go with the academy again. With one scout going to England, of course we want to find talent here, and the next one, Northern Ireland, to find the next Paddy Lane. At least our worst start ever, I believe, to a career mode, has gave us an extra chance to progress some of our youth players. Because before making a signing, I'm putting my trust into this man, Kieran McGee, who could be the future here. As you can see on the bench, alongside Smith, who's got a position on it, need a little more growth before they move into this team, which does need a centre-back, and I'm sorry to Regan Poole, but you have been terrible. The whole team's been terrible, really. And whilst checking which foot I actually need to sign a centre-back on, I find a left footer in Ebane Boat. I think the fact he's not got a player face has meant that I have missed him. He's 23-year-old, left-footed centre-half. Quite rare to find, so I'm going to put him straight into the first team, and now I'm still thinking we do get a centre-back anyway, because I am selling some players like Connor Ogilvie and also Regan Poole himself for 2 million. And if that left-back we just sold, Ogilvie, was hard to pronounce, then Daniele Gilardi, he's going to be even harder to say. If you didn't know, I'm terrible with names, as we've got a high budget, but I am going to cheap out, just offering 3 million for this man, and making him our only signing on a 5-year deal to hopefully help us next season fingers crossed in the Championship. As let's all at the moment be quite honest and frank, this team right here is good enough to survive the Premier League. We've got an 83 rated keeper who we've still kept at the club despite Portsmouth being in the 3rd tier of England. We have had to step it up, and I think we might have done so. Just look at the goals. We're having a party in front of the net. But at the back, a different situation, because I tried desperately to sign them up. It's the first time this year I've failed to sign some key players to their roles. Captain Connor and that guy Boat both bow out the club as we do go up to the Championship. 105 points is actually unreal, and finally glued our first trophy. But in the FA Cup, we are out to West Ham United. Not going far, as it's the round of 16 of the Carabao Cup, losing to Brentford. If we could get a good cup run going, we could end up in Europe, as we don't win the BSM though. Losing in round 2 to Barrow of all teams. Again, it must be said, that isn't me speaking badly of Barrow, as there goes our captain once we reach the Championship. Signed a pre-contract with Burnley so we can take him straight out of the squad, with our second best player being McIntyre. Ooh, don't like the look of that, as do we have to buy an academy, because we do have 12 million, a lot of funds from the board. As from funds to fun, because you can see Southampton's in this division, and that means one thing: we unlock the locked objective. As this locked objective just makes this save very interesting. If we do lose to Southampton, we must transfer list our best player, which of course is our goalkeeper, Fesewin, the Ukrainian, and I don't want rid of him because keepers are hard to sign. It showed with the amount of money last season we had to fork out, as Kieran McGee stays at a 69 overall. Of course, we do need him into the team, but we do have 2 good wingers. Paddy Lane I don't want to sell, but maybe McCausland. If we transfer list him because he's in his final year of contract, make some money off that sale, and then use McGree, we might get our youth player who's actually going to grow into the team. Because that's what we need to get, as there's bids in for McCausland, who's going to leave us for Brentford. Okay, he's going to an English club, and now we can play a youth player and save money by not using the academy. Of course, if McGee doesn't work, we might have to start the academy again, but just for now, I think we put our money into a centre-back. Again, buying defenders, and I want someone similar to our captain we just lost. So Charlie Creswell out at Toulouse in his final year of contract. A great player, not the best, and there is some trapped potential, but he's not the highest rated because he's too good to lose. If you see what I did there, because he's come from the club in Toulouse, and only 77 rated, so if we lose to Southampton, we shouldn't lose the big man. There's still 30 million left over. I want to save some for the Prem, but I want to also do another thing. Firstly, sign contracts up, because I don't want any players leaving again. And secondly, get a striker that is younger than Colby Bishop, and could maybe take his slot if we do go ahead and get to the Premier League. Azifweeka Alkmaar, 6'6". A beast of a striker, which helps progress our youth approach, who should give this team an outside shout for promotion. I expect a lot of goals scored, as the first thing I'm doing is checking our best player, which of course is Fesewin. Nothing has changed there, although he was level with Moxton, but still in the Championship. Colby Bishop knows where to find the net. Unbelievable. As you know, I said this team had a shout for promotion, and 4th in the league is a very good first finish. Apart from the relegation, of course, but we don't speak about that season. The only problem with this, Southampton have finished 2nd, meaning we could have actually lost to them because they've picked up a lot of wins. As we pick up another round of 16, lost though to Bristol City. Maybe should have got further, and definitely further in the Carabao. A first round loss to Walsall on penalties. But it is this we care about, the Championship playoffs, and it is, of course, a win. We should have a strong team with strong players, as it is promotion to the Prem, so we will join Southampton, beating Middlesbrough, beating Carricksborough, as we've got to check for Southampton, and it was was the final league game. We beat them 1-0. And skimming forward here, I believe it was in one of the first months, we draw with Southampton, so we don't have to sell our best player. Fesewin is safe. He will not have to be sold. And also the captain, Moxon, although he's now 30. Same with Bishop, now 31. Not much growth out of McGee, but overall, looking at this team, I think it survives the Premier League. Apart from, weirdly enough, our youth player we have in the squad, I feel fairly confident. It's £45 million. And we know where that's straight going. We do have to sign a right back because Williams is not good enough and Smith really hasn't grown. So yes, back to the team. It has definitely got to be a right back. There's also Zeefweek on the bench. Now 77 overall. I'm going to swap him for Bishop just to start the season in that position. But if he swaps Bishop back when simulating, that's fine. I just want to give the man a chance to grow because I don't want to sign a striker this year. Yes, it's back to defenders. Defenders are crucial to get. And also the ruling still stands. Southampton didn't get promoted. So if we lose to Southampton, we sell our best player. Nothing changes there as I'm going to add some strength to the back line with Martin Fernandez. Now, I've never heard of this right back. Snuck under my radar as I'm going to try and include Williams plus a little bit of money, although we could use Williams for the bench. And no, they don't accept it, right? We're just going to have to spend money on Martin. And that is what we do, tying him down to a 5-year contract. Lovely stuff. That means, of course, we don't have to keep extending his wage. As one player that does have a contract but could be sold is Owen Moxon. I am going to actually transfer list him because I just feel like he's 30, 85 rated, stock will be high, and we could sell him for a big fee, then take a little bit of a rating hit. As Manchester United willing to spend 77 million. As please be the bid going through, I think that is Moxon leaving. I think it's been accepted. How have we just scammed United? I mean, they've proven to be scammed a lot of times under Ten Hag with his non-working signings, as that's worse than Anthony. Genuinely can't believe it. So 86 million, and I'm going to change up my strategy. Get a low 80 midfielder, and then go and fill our bench. Or I'll do it the other way round. Sign more players first with Fredrickson, Marley Ake, and Juran Bislimi, all from the Swiss League. Apart from Fredrickson, not the youngest of players, but you can see that fills out our bench, and that's a strong Premier League one. Or strong for our position, is still 66 million to spend, and we will get a class midfielder in, because that is more than enough. And the player I've managed to wrangle is Hugo Larsson, relegated with Leicester, so got him for fairly cheaper. When we bought this man, he was 85 overall at 23-year-old. Now he's 24. And don't forget how we got him. We sold a 30-year-old, so it's incredible he's in the team. As looking at the team overall, Zeefweek's 81 is hiding upon an injury right there, but the rest of the team's amazing. The defense looks solid. The bench players were all right, and we don't lose anybody to a contract. As just look at these ratings, it is Fesewin leading the way. Still, we could get beat by Southampton, so we've got to watch out for that in the background. As a 32-year-old Bishop, the top scorer in the Prem, he is genuinely unreal, as we've got to check for the Saints scores. As yeah, looking at them 2 months, we only took 1 defeat, and that was to Aston Villa, as we beat them 4-3 and beat them 2-1 in late August. Surrounded yet again by good results, as they finished in the relegation zone, Chelsea in 16th, and us nowhere to be seen. Honestly can't believe that by the Blues. Where are we? We finished in the top 4 in our first season in the Premier League. Honestly unreal, as thought we would have done well in a cup with the extreme high finish, but it's not. It's an FA Cup quarter-final. And a load of good teams went out, as in the Carabao Cup it's a round of 16, getting closer in the cups, but we are in the biggest cup of all. Champions League next year, as Fenerbahce's made the final, and either Brighton or Liverpool must have won it last year. And when you check Brighton's team, I mean, they've got some very good players here. Gyökeres has gone back, and they even have Brahanguda, Reece James, Jesus, Juric, who's a youngster, but we did finish above them which is a very good sign. And did I mention Tchouaméni? They have actually signed the Frenchman, who we don't need to sign because we've got Hugo Larsson, a player I really trust, and £101 million. Will this actually be the season where we get to replace Colby Bishop being a genuine star for us? And I'm not talking about replacing him on the bench. I'm talking about another striker. Zeefweek is just grinding my gears. Yes, he has gone up, but he's now 24, so on the old side. And also McGee, we need him to step into the 80 ratings. He can't leave our first team, but when we actually look at the oldest player, it is Andre Dozzle. Surprised he got to an 80 overall. Stats didn't even look good, so again, I'm going to transfer list him, give him Owen Moxon's treatment, and hopefully get a bigger bid. And I don't understand these offers. I mean, he has progressed as a 30-year-old, but 73 million from Napoli and Crystal Palace. With being in the lower divisions, I believe the potential must have shot up, and therefore his price tag, so off he goes to the Eagles. The London-based club in the Premier League who are very good, but I'm checking the London-based club that underperformed. Chelsea, they've got to have good players, as first of all we've got to look for a striker. As do we just take Jackson? I mean, his potential still should go up. Oh, but Andaluna, the player just below him's got an exceptional rating, and also Timo Werner. What's he doing back at Chelsea? Swear he's still at Tottenham, as I have gone for that Luna striker, so 55 million. Good money for a new number 9. But he isn't our only Chelsea signing, maybe a controversial one. But just because he's a bit cheaper, I've gone for Mykhailo Mudryk, who, yes, doesn't fit in our team, but his contract was expiring, and plus he is a Ukrainian like our goalkeeper, Thyssen. Plus we had the money, and plus he can help McGee out as 63 million, again for a central midfielder. As I'll round the spending up again with another central midfielder, Giovanni Fabian, who does have a lot of potential. Yes, our days of robbing Chelsea are over just for now, as Fabian, wow, I mean, he's not done what Larsson did. Still, it's a bloody increase, as Luna's got the biggest increase, and then, of course, our goalkeeper, love this man, Fesui. But do you know who I love more? And no, he's not on this first page. He's on the second page with contracts, and it is Colby Bishop, retiring at 33, and he's always been our top goal scorer, as he bows out this season with 3 out of 18 games. Hey, that's still good for the Premier League with his age and everything, as our top scorers are our current strikers, so at least we have replaced him fully now. But the best thing about this season isn't the Champions League straight away, it's the fact that Southampton are not in this division to beat us. Spurs fall off this year, as you can see as well, we finished second, which was 9 points off Liverpool. Our squad is actually this good now that I expect us up here, as it's a quarter-final loss to the Redmen and a round of 32 loss in the Carabao to the Cottagers. Of course, being Fulham, as I kind of expected to be here, I didn't expect a good finish in the Champions League Season 1. Last year we always used to win it first time, as this year we do win our first round against Porto 4-1, but then we stopped by Barca 4-1 on aggregate, who actually are in the final against Dortmund. A shame, as last year's winners, as you can see, Fenerbahce won it, as the Super Cup finale was the Jose Mourinho derby. And let's be fully honest, in this next season we should compete. If Fenerbahce can win it, and us with a budget like that, we should be making the final, as we don't really need to replace Bishop because we do have Saidi, the same rating, stepping onto the bench. As speaking of the bench, we could probably use another backup keeper and maybe centre mid. Or maybe we just do go for a striker. What I want to avoid is right mid. He does have potential to be special, but Kieran McGee, he isn't really showing it. As you can see, he's not on the highest rating list. We do have a lot of good players here, as one who's dropped down is Daniele Gilardi. And that just tells me we need someone a little bit older and experienced to take that captain's armband, but we can't get Diaz. Shame, because I really wanted him, but one team I haven't forgot about is Brighton, of course, gatekeeping them good players. As centre-back wise, they do have Dio Upamecano, but he isn't really an upgrade, so we will have to look elsewhere. Or then again, do we just go for goals, because they've got Victor Gyökeres back? If I'm not mistaken, he actually started at Brighton, or was in their academy, and with his vast experience, we do need another goal scorer to replace Colby Bobby Bishop's goals. As the 32-year-old joins our ranks on the bench, and I can't help but laugh because he cost a fair few pennies. But pennies we had, as we just might have enough for this man, Giancarlo Ignacio, running out of contract again. And no, he's not too young, and in fact, we're running out of money, so we'll try the sell-on clause glitch. Hopefully that helps us out. But then on the wages, we actually run out of money, so he's rejected the club, and we've got to go centre-back searching, as I can't believe we actually looked at Diaz and not this man. We've got Ronald Araujo of Barca, fresh off winning the Champions League, who 2 minutes later, after going into the offer, rejects it because they want 103 million. At this rate, we're struggling, and I might just trust Gilardi. We signed him as a youngster, and he's grown since his first overall. So I'll invest my money elsewhere into a Toblu, a backup keeper, and a younger centre-back in Felipe Guzman. No big signing, could potentially have some consequences, but not in the Champions League, as I'm going to check that first. And we should finish first. I mean, it's joint, probably beat us head-to-head, but Liverpool and us, first and second, is a rivalry starting. As you can see in the round of 16, we actually beat Bayer Leverkusen 5-3 on aggregate. Then we beat Bayern 3-2 at a squeeze. And then we beat Marseille 2-1 at a squeeze. A comeback to put us into the Champions League final at the second time of asking. First and second meet again. Us and Liverpool, who are actually down there in the Premier League, as we win the Premier League and Burnley finish second. Can you actually believe it? It's a shame that Sean Dyche isn't in charge anymore. As in the Community Shield, Liverpool get the better of us on penalties, and then the FA Cup. Look at the finalists. As in that competition as well, playing Liverpool. They're currently 2-1 up, as Arsenal do beat us in the Carabao. Another penalty loss. Let's hope this final doesn't go to penalties. As speaking of this final, it could be the hardest one ever, as 2 suspended strikers in Stasin and Luna, one with a broken collarbone and then one with a 3-week injury, and also Victor Gyökeres, he's got a 1-match ban, as we've had to change our shape up and Zeefweek is our striker in one of the craziest things to ever happen to me in career mode. At least we have a youth player in our lineup. We haven't signed any free agents, and I also didn't check if Southampton got a promotion. Hey, as if the Saints have made the Premier League and we go ahead and lose to them, we could lose a high-rated player, but hopefully we don't lose this game. As almost got that ball, I had to slide for it and still didn't get it. No one gets suspended as well. That is a crucial thing. As Paddy Lane, we know he's got pace, and we know he can beat that number 6 with it. Go on, Paddy Lane. Cross the ball in. Wins a corner. And with 3 centre-halves, in future should be dangerous from corners. He wasn't on that occasion, as Zeefweek just man-marked. With him being our only striker, I reckon they're just man-mark him all game, because he's already coming deep to pick the ball up. Can we just try and expose the wings? Plenty of players down here, you know, but our players can't even pass to each other, but they can pass to us, as Fabian pull that across and Zeefweek slide, as he still almost got the ball. As Martin to run again, and if he can just cross that into the middle, maybe Lane can try and arrive. Ball didn't fall to his lane, as maybe it will this time because we're passing it down the wing to him, but still no bloody striker. I'm not liking the formation, as he's run out of players' lane. Yep. This formation has to change at halftime. Nothing is bloody working. There's nobody in the box. So I'm going to go for a tactical masterclass back to the 4-4-2 shape and use Lane as a striker with that 99 pace boost. Just run at them, Laney boy. I mean, you've got help from Zeefweek. He can be the man with the shooting, as already you can see it's a little bit easier. McGree, that's a pre-slide tackle, and we almost got the ball in the box. Man Mountain in that area, as oh, that's good from Paddy Lane, just drifting back in a false 9 shape as Mudryk over the top towards Zeefweek. That's got to be handball, but he's still got a power shot off, and it's a goal from our Dutchman, our 4th choice striker. Who knew he had it in him, as it's a brilliant cross from Mudryk. And oh, come on, give us a normal replay. Did this actually be a nutmeg? 88 ball speed. It wasn't, but it is a goal. So 1-0 to Portsmouth. And now can we defend it? And no, I'm not changing shape again. We've got to keep with this 4-4-2. We want another goal if possible, but still, I'm not going to gamble on it. I'm just going to pass through the passing lanes. Just pass where we can pass to, as Fabian almost with a chance. Joe Gomez is the centre-back. Now, I actually didn't notice that. Maybe it's not us that are in the bad shape. It's Liverpool in bad shape with him, as that is a good pass, though. Pino through on goal. We've got to try and make that save. 1-1 late on. A brilliant pass, that one. Who actually played the ball? It won't show us on the extra replay, but no defenders near him, and Pino levels it up. Worked so hard for that bloody goal and been punished already. As come on, Mudryk, use magic for another assist. He's into the box almost, and he just runs out of play with it. Not a very good job, but still. Paddy Lane with the run on here. Bad kick from the goalkeeper. Paddy Lane with the chance, and Zeefweek, oh my days! He's onside! It's the lead! The fourth choice striker was trying to take the shirt off Lane's back a shot, which was a bad one, and then just deflects off his big toe. And it's over straight after the goal. I didn't realise how late it was, but Portsmouth go ahead and win the Champions League trophy. Without a striker on the field, and we almost got rid of the centre-back, but Gardi to lift the trophy, the Italian stallion, as we've now saved the new club at the bottom of the EFL Championship. As should I go out of the Championship, or should I actually stick in it? Let me know in the comments below which team I should do next, and if you do want another video, click somewhere on the screen now.